Hi, this is Sarah from Align with Sarah. I'm here in this chair doing a video, and it feels like it's been a very long time since I've done a video. And I'm glad to be here, and I hope you are too, and I'm glad to be connected. So, this month we're talking about clarity. We've talked about clarity before. It's been a piece of wellness. I believe it was last year. It could have been the beginning of this year. I'm not sure. But I do feel like, we don't like do the dishes once and then we're done with dishes for the rest of our life. We give that attention and then we move on to the next thing. And I feel like with these pieces of wellness, they are kind of like cleaning house, our own personal house, our inside house, the mind, the body, and the spirit inside all those things. And we're just returning to clarity and incorporating what is new and uh, growing something else that's new with this new attention on clarity. So there is a really nice um, Let's Talk Tuesday out there it just went out last week about being clear with this echo. What do we want to be echoing between our soul, our heart, and our soul? And what is going to be reverberating out of that into the universe? What is our vibe that we're going to be offering? There's also a blog, really long blog. I think I need to make that a little bit shorter, but the blog is up as well, about being clear and imagining that we have a moment on top of our mountain with the attention of the universe, and we have, two, three words to say, and we want to yell them out there so that they can echo back to us. And if we start talking in these, like, long sentences, it's gonna get to be very garbled and confused, and we're just gonna catch the last two words or one or two words of whatever it is that this big long story that's coming out. So the more clear we can be, the more focused our vibe can be. What is echoing from our mind, from our mouth, from our heart, our soul, our body, and how that can be reflected back into our life. So being clear about it. Think about, and imagining, I love the analogy thing, imagining that, your intention for the day is something that you're going to yell out into the canyon. Success, 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 success. And find success, find other people's success, celebrate that. Celebrate your successes. Oh, I drank enough water for this hour, or I had a great breakfast, or I was up on time, or I wasn't up on time, but I got out the door and I feel great and I'm ready for something new. And, finding the successes, because that's what we want to grow. That's what we want echoing back and forth between all of those places, all those layers that make us us. And I think when we boil it down to that piece of clarity and, offering this thought of this echo, we can I can imagine this effort in actually, like, hearing ourselves. Are we whining? This again, this again, this again, this again. Well, what's the pattern? What contributes to this? Well, stop doing that. Find something new. Um, when we're clear, it's this condensed version of what's going on. And maybe we can even recognize, like, there's this clear message from my boss, from my roommate, from my kids, from the doctor, from the neighbors. There is this clear message that actually everyone has mentioned, that's you know, they've seen me outside a lot. They can't believe how nice the garden is. They might be trying to tell me a message of success, but I might have in my head, I'm not doing enough. I'm not enough. I might be focused on the weeds or the untamed vines or the whatever, and people can consistently be approaching us, giving us positive feedback, and we're too looped up in that negative, in the negative thinking, our negative focus to and miss that story. And when we can boil down what it is that we're thinking, that vibe that we're keeping, um, the stuff that we might be totally missing, and then like, oh my gosh, yes, this person mentioned that, that person mentioned that. I'm hearing that all over the place. Maybe I need to listen. Maybe I need to focus on that other piece that feels more positive. The thing that I'm going to invite you to be paying attention to find clarity with, is what is that not enough story? And I mentioned that with, focusing on weeds versus this vibrant, beautiful garden. Um, but we all have that story, the go-to excuse, and somebody's offering us options of relief or ideas or whatever. We have the go-to, not enough time, not enough support, not enough money, not enough, um, you know, I don't have nice enough clothes, I don't have a nice enough car, this thing is, that thing, whatever, not enough, not enough. We all have a not enough story. And when we set that intention to hear that, we can find it, we can recognize it. Have a beautiful journal about recognizing, using that to recognize, well, my gosh, I do say that I don't have enough money all the time. What's that about? Going to the journal. The journal is meant, you can print it off as many times as you want, and then you can go back and think, well, geez, this started when I was, I don't know, 6, because I remember, I was set up with this thinking that, we couldn't celebrate our money. Uh, we had to be like the good people, the good Catholics, and, suffering and poverty and this and that and the other thing that was instilled in me. That's what makes a good person. And there's plenty of good people that are, on the other side of that. There's plenty of good people that have wealth. There's plenty of people that have wealth and share wealth. There are plenty of people that have wealth and are religious, are spiritual, are kind, are compassionate, um, and that can go on and on. But we don't. If we have that mindset and we don't recognize that mindset that is echoing around inside of us very clearly, we're trying to be a good person here. We have to be suffering. We have to have poverty. We have to have despair and hopelessness, and um, because that's what was instilled in us. When we recognize that story, we can tell a different story. We can take control of that, and we can change that thinking. We can find proof of something else, because we're always going to be naturally finding proof of what we believe in. So people are going to be telling us those stories, and we have it in our head, you know, this person is taking advantage of me, this, that, the other thing. And it might be completely not the case, but we have the story in our head, so that filters on, and that this like speakers are louder in our ears than what somebody's actually telling us. And then we're in a society where it can get even worse, because we communicate so much on email and text messages where it's just words on screens, and we make that into exactly what we want it to be when we're reading words on screen. We apply our filter, it's 100% our glasses that we're wearing. Am I a victim now? Who's asking for what on my phone here? And, we're always in a place where we could say no. We're always in a place where we can see things in a different light. We're always in a place where we can learn from this moment, and find the path that we want to be on, get on that path, and find something that supports us staying on that path. So it's a little bit of rambling, but hopefully it's clear enough, um, with the message for today, where yeah, that vibe, what is vibrating in there. And if things feel really stuck, if things feel stagnant, if things feel hard, it's because they are hard, and they don't have to be hard. So finding the stories, finding the not enough story that's in there, um, is a really huge step into finding where you want to be going, finding how you want to be feeling, and creating that in your life. So, all right, thank you for being here. I will talk to you again real soon.